Hi YouTube, welcome to another edition of Horror Hands, and for this video I'm going to go through 5 horror movies that I thought looked really unappealing, but when I watched them turned out to be really good. So I'll get straight into it. The first movie on this list is the Candyman remake. So I was not too fussed about this one. I never really like to see movies remade anyway. 99% of the time it just feels unnecessary, and this was kind of like one of them. And then I heard a few negative reviews about it, so I was really turned off to the movie. I didn't fancy it at all. And then I was at a movie night with my friend 80s film fan on here. One of the movies he chose to watch was the Candyman remake, so I thought, well, I'll check it out and see what it's like. And I was so impressed with the film. I absolutely loved it, and I love what they did with it. I really like how kind of classy and elegant the movie was. I thought it looked fantastic. Even though it's set in what isn't really a very affluent area, it just looked gorgeous. And the fact that it's set in and around an art gallery kind of added to that classiness. I love the way that they portrayed the Candyman. I liked in some of the scenes he was kind of in the background a little bit, and it was subtle, and he'd disappear and was really creepy. And then I loved the scenes where he was sort of floating through the air. I thought the kills were amazing, and the way he kind of linked it to the original Candyman was just fantastic. I absolutely loved what they did with this film. In fact, I've just got it for the collection. It's still sealed actually, because I really want to watch it again. But it is a divisive film. I know my dad will see this and groan because he hated this film, and I keep trying to get him to rewatch it. But I absolutely love what they did with this Candyman remake. I think they did a great job reimagining it and presenting Candyman in a slightly different way. I thought it was wonderful. So these are in alphabetical order, but if this was a countdown of the one that impressed me the most, this will probably be number 1. I really love the Candyman remake. Okay, next up on the list is the Carrie sequel, The Rage, Carrie 2, which is a film that came out, was 1999, and really didn't go onto my radar. I quickly dismissed it. I didn't think it'd be very good. I thought it had been too long since the original Carrie to do a sequel, so it kind of came and went. And over the years, I had nothing to do with this movie. I didn't avoid it. It never crossed my path, and I never sought it out. And then a few years ago, 88 Films put it out on Blu-ray, and I still didn't have any interest in watching it, to be honest. But I started to see a few reviews, and they were all favourable reviews, saying that it was actually a pretty good film. And what really attracted me was it had a very strong late 90s, early 2000s feel, which I'm very fond of that time. So I got the Blu-ray and I thought I'd check it out, and yeah, I really liked the film. I thought it was a really good movie. I thought what they did with it worked, keeping in mind how long it had been since the original film. It wasn't like a continuation of Carrie White. It was like a different girl that had the same kind of gift, and it just explores that in a late 90s setting in high school, which I thought worked really well. So they didn't overstretch it with this one. They did a good job. It had some good moments in it, some cool kills. I liked the main girl that had the telekinetic gifts. And yeah, I just thought generally they did a good job of this one. So I put it off for all those years, and then finally got around to checking it out and really enjoyed it. So definitely wanted to mention that one. So that's Carrie 2, The Rage. Okay, the next movie on the list is Head of the Family, and unappealing might be the wrong word for this one. It's a full moon film, so you kind of know what you get in. The kind of full moon are a bit lowbrow, but usually really enjoyable. But Head of the Family did really surprise me, because I was very impressed with how this one was written and the story that was told. It is still a very silly film. It's very much a B movie in the full moon fashion. It's about this mutated freak family, and they get into some bother, and this guy witnesses it. He's like a grifter, and he starts blackmailing this creature family. He wants money from them to keep quiet, and they pay him the money, but he then wants something else. He wants more money. They keep paying him off, but it all gets a bit messy and convoluted. And I was surprised how well the story played out and how everything intricates together to keep the narrative going between this family and this kind of low life grifter guy. You kind of don't see writing of this quality in full moon movies. Usually it's just creatures running around killing people off, and it's very lowbrow, which is fine. I love those kind of movies. But yeah, this one kept me really engaged. It was really good to see that mix of B-movie, like B-movie monster movie, with actually quite sharp, witty and intelligent writing to keep things going. So I'm not saying it's, you know, it's an amazing movie, but for what it is, I was very surprised with the quality of that and how good the film is and how it plays out. Really cool movie. It's probably, in my opinion, Full Moon's best work. I know a lot of people will go Puppet Master, which is a great call, but I really, really like Head of the Family. I think it's a genuinely very good film, kind of dressed up as a silly B movie. So just wanted to give that a bit of a mention. Okay, next up is Paranormal Activity, which I remember this coming out. I did not like the look of this film at all. I found it completely unappealing. I wasn't a huge fan of found footage movies back then. I found them to be a little bit lazy, and the fact that this just looked like a static camera set up in a bedroom looked like the height of laziness. So I really wasn't too fussed about it. I've come to love found footage movies now. I really like them, but at the time I was very much on the fence. So this one did not do anything for me when I saw it advertised. Didn't have any interest in watching it. And it came out, and I didn't even buy it. Somebody at work lent it to me and said, well, just give it a watch. So I thought, okay, I will. So I took it home with zero expectations, put it on one night with all the lights switched off. I thought I'll create maximum effect. And I was watching it, and I vividly remember thinking, I have never been so scared watching a movie. It absolutely terrified me, and I could put it on now and it would still terrify me. I don't mind telling you. This one really got under my skin, and I was not prepared for just how frightening and effective this movie was, and I immediately became a huge fan of it and respect them for what they did, you know, with pretty much a static camera in one house, you know, in a couple of different locations. Really, really effective, scary film, and I love this one. I love the whole franchise. I think they get progressively less scary as they go along because nothing kind of has this shock value as the first one. So I just wasn't expecting it. I didn't know what to expect, but I wasn't expecting it to be that scary. And like I say, it still holds its power now, and it's a film that I have great admiration and respect for. I know, again, a lot of people kind of dismiss this one, but honestly, nothing scared me like the first time I watched Paranormal Activity, so credit to it for that. So that one I wanted to mention as well. And the last movie on the list of movies that I found unappealing but really good is Wind Chill. And I wanted to put this one on the list because I had this in the collection for the longest time. I had it for months and months, maybe even a couple of years. I can't remember it. It just used to sit there. And it used to irritate me that I'd not watched it, but that I just didn't fancy watching it at all. It did nothing for me. The look or anything appealed to me. And I think I put it on one day when I had nothing else to watch. I'd watched like my latest haul, there was nothing else. And I thought, oh, let me just put this Wind Chill on and I'll get it out of the way. And again, really enjoyed it. I thought it was a fantastic film. Great kind of winter set, cold looking movie. Emily Blunt, she's on this road trip. It's dead dark and dreary and snowing, and she breaks down and gets stranded, and ghostly things start to happen to her. But I found it very engaging. I love the setting and the wintry feel. It's a great one to watch in like December. And again, I just questioned why I put it off for so long after enjoying it so much. It was a really pleasant surprise, and should have got around to it quicker. So the lesson is, don't put them off. They might be really good movies. So that is 5 what I thought were really unappealing horror films that I ended up really enjoying. Let me know what you think of these. Did you find them unappealing? Or is there anything else out there that you held off watching which you ended up really liking? I'd be really interested to know. So thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned for more videos.